Dr. D here again. In a prior video, I explained why you can't truly alkalize your body with food. But here's the fascinating part. Even though that idea of alkalinizing your body is technically wrong, the practice of eating an alkaline diet often helps people feel dramatically better. So let's talk about what's really changing in an alkaline diet. When you shift from processed foods, refined sugar, and excessively high refined animal proteins towards vegetables, healthy fats, and whole foods, you're changing your metabolic signaling environment, not your pH. Highly processed foods and sugars create postprandial, that is after meal, spikes in insulin and inflammatory mediators like IL-6 and TNF alpha. Now, don't worry about the names of those things. What's important is that those repeated surges drive oxidative stress and mitochondrial congestion, the very chemistry that keeps people tired and inflamed. Let's dive in here for a minute and describe oxidative stress and mitochondrial congestion and why they're important. Oxidative stress happens when your cells are producing too many sparkles of energy, called free radicals, and not enough antioxidants to keep them from turning into a fire. Free radicals aren't bad. Your body makes them naturally every time you breathe, move, think, or digest food. But when you eat processed foods, or when you're exposed to toxins or live under chronic stress, among many other things, those sparkles turn into a wildfire. That excess oxidative damage damages cell membranes, DNA, and proteins, like rust forming inside the body. Now, you and I are not made of tin like the Tin Man, so we don't rust, but the damage to our cells is significant and equivalent to rusting. When you bring in colorful, nutrient-rich foods, fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and clean proteins, you provide antioxidants that cool the fire and allow your cells to repair and thrive again. What about mitochondrial congestion? Your mitochondria are like tiny power plants inside every cell. They make the energy your body runs on. When everything's working well, your mitochondria produce clean energy, like a car running on high-quality fuel. But when your diet is full of sugar, chemicals, inflammatory foods, additives, hormones, genetically modified organisms, or when you're under too much stress, have chronic infections, those mitochondria get clogged up and inefficient. They start making energy the dirty way, creating more waste and less usable fuel for your body. That's what I call mitochondrial congestion. It means your cells are tired, your brain feels foggy, and your body has to work harder just to keep up. When you switch to whole, unprocessed foods, especially those rich in minerals, good fats, and antioxidants, you're cleaning out those power plants. The mitochondria can breathe again and produce energy cleanly, efficiently, and vibrantly. Vegetables, nuts, seeds, and plant-rich meals lower that inflammatory tone, reduce the oxidative load, and improve mitochondrial energy production. That's why you feel clearer, lighter, and more energetic. Not because your blood became more alkaline, but because your cells stopped living in an inflammatory fog. There's a second reason that alkaline diets are beneficial, and it's the mineral connection. So-called alkaline foods are naturally high in minerals like magnesium, potassium, calcium, and many others. There are 88 trace minerals that the body needs. The body uses these minerals as buffers to maintain acid-base equilibrium inside the cell. Even though they don't change the blood pH, these minerals lighten the kidney's workload, and they support muscle, nerve, and mitochondrial function. Also, when magnesium and potassium levels are optimal, energy production and cellular hydration improve. That means better energy, fewer cramps, calmer nerves, and a more resilient detoxification pathways. The third reason that an alkaline diet feels good is because of the connection with your microbiome and your detoxification pathways. Plant-based, moderate protein and fat with low processed food eating also transforms the gut microbiome. Beneficial bacteria ferment plant fibers into short chain fatty acids that are anti inflammatory. They help to maintain the intestinal barrier, and they even influence gene expression related to immune tolerance, stabilizing your epigenetic risk for disease. Meanwhile, removing processed foods reduces exposures to emulsifiers, additives, preservatives, hormones, genetically modified organisms, advanced glycation end products, and other products that are known to irritate the gut lining and the liver detoxification pathways. So, what feels like alkalinity is actually a shift towards a more cooperative microbial and metabolic ecosystem. There's a fourth reason that alkaline diets make us feel better, and that's related to mitochondria and the energy signaling. When oxidative stress and blood sugar swings calm down, mitochondria can return to efficient oxidative phosphorylation instead of emergency glycolysis. That means your mitochondria become uncongested and they start producing energy more efficiently and with fewer inflammatory exhaust fumes. That shift lowers lactate accumulation, which is a major reason people report less muscle fatigue and clearer thinking on cleaner diets. It's not a pH miracle, it's better bioenergetics. And the last thing I'd like to mention here is the integrative perspective on an alkaline diet. So, the benefit of an alkaline diet isn't chemical alkalinity, it's the restoration of metabolic harmony, lower inflammation, improved nutrient density, healthier microbiome, steadier insulin, and more efficient mitochondria, all of which you could call inner calm at the cellular level. That's exactly what my trigger tree framework maps: how food, mindset, toxins, stress, and more feed into your metabolic environment of your body. When we prune the triggers and nourish the roots, health regenerates from the inside out. So, yes, eat those greens, drink the clean water, eat free range, hormone free, antibiotic free meats and fats, and skip the sugar and processed foods. Do this not to change your blood's pH, but to change your cellular conversation. Because when your cells are in harmony, your whole system moves from survival into regeneration. Here's to recovering your health, reinvigorating your life, and regenerating your wholeness. I'm Dr. D. See you next time.